Shalom. Before I get this lesson started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakakodash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the hope of the elect, the 144,000, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah, that is Israel, to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Adah with another report on the madness of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and the hypocrisy of the Renaissance Western Christian church. Not crying out for the widow, not visiting the widow or the orphan. And the widow and the orphan is a term used specifically for the Hebrew Israelites based on our adulteries, which caused us to be divorced from our husband, which basically then killed him or put him in a state where we are a widow, and also as a result of the divorce, because of our adulteries and the scattering to the four corners of the earth, putting us into slavery under the curses, under the rulership of the wicked and the heathen, we also became orphans because now we are fatherless. That is speaking specifically and only about the 12 tribes of Israel, the northern and southern kingdom, known as Israel, and Judah or Ephraim, and the south. And all of this can be backed up in scripture. And Salakia, and Renaissance Western Christianity, which is white supremacy, never goes into the understanding, to the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding of the mysteries of the scriptures, because it was not set up for that. It was only created to push an image of a white God, a white Savior, and white angels all over the whole entire earth, while the government of America, which is basically the white man, has gone all over the entire earth, robbing, stealing, pillaging, and killing. This is why you never see 501c3 tax break Christianity ever speak out about a president, ever. When every time when you read the Bible, whenever you see a Hebrew Israelite king, which is what? Which is the rulership or the government of Israel. Whenever that king would do sin or do tremendous things of wickedness, what would you see? You would see a prophet come and publicly rebuke that king to his face for the things he did wrong. You see this with the prophet Nathan and the King David. You see this with Elijah and King Ahab and his wife Jezebel. You see this with the prophet John the Baptist and King now I'm brain farting his name, Herod. It's all throughout the scriptures, you guys. You see Yahushai, the one the world ignorantly calls Jesus, doing it with the Pharisees and with the Roman government. Yet Christianity, you never see Billy Graham, Oral Roberts, John Hagee. You never see these bastards judging the government for the shit they do. Why? Yet they claim to be representing the Bible. It's bullshit, you guys.
Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world. America buys this oil from Venezuela. Venezuela does not give America a deal on oil like Saudi Arabia in return for protection. Venezuela declined having military bases on its soil, so they did not give America cheaper oil like Saudi Arabia and other countries. Venezuela does not buy American military equipment in exchange for cheaper oil deals, like all the Middle East countries do. In April, Venezuela offered cheaper oil to the U.S. in return for peace. Venezuela's president came out speaking English last week saying, quote, "Peace, peace, no war. We want peace, no war." All of those boats that America's blowing up in the Caribbean are fishing boats, and most of them did not even originate from Venezuela. Also, these boats are little fishing boats that would need to refuel 6 times to reach Florida. Venezuela voted to make food a human right. The United States vetoed it. Venezuela has...
Look at some of the comments. The truth hurts, but people are more aware now. And yes, America is not an angel. Facts, 100%. It's still cheaper from the Middle East. It's hard to process. Exactly. And God, they trust gold, oil, and dollars, or gold, oils, and drugs. America has always as bullying countries around the whole world, mafia style. So these are the cries that are coming out against this country and against the race of people that established this country. And don't think because you see so-called a handful of so-called white-looking people saying what their government is doing wrong, that all of a sudden that means that there's not judgment coming to the entire so-called white nation, which is known as Esau, Edom, because the Most High judges entire nations. Let's get something really quick. Let's get the skull and crossbones. Skull and crossbones. So you got Skull and Bone Society. What do you see? That's a symbol of the pirate, right? What do you see? You see Edomites. You see white fraternities, right? This is one of their names. They speak in symbols. They are telling you that they are thieves. What was the first form of carjacking, you guys? Before the car was developed, before the airplane was developed, it was ships. And pirates would come onto other ships, right? And steal the cargo. That was the first carjacking. These motherfuckers, these people. What do you see? You see the skull and crossbones. Let's pull up the word piracy. Piracy and see what it means. Piracy. Okay. The definition. Piracy has two main meanings: robbery or violent criminal acts at sea, and the unauthorized reproduction or distribution of copyrighted material. The historical meaning refers to is what they did with the Bible. They they rewrote the Bible, meaning they changed its meaning. The historical meaning refers to sea robbery for private gain, while modern usage often involves digital content like music, movies, and software. Both forms are illegal and can be subject to international law or specific national law. Now, when you're the race of people that controls those laws, you will never find yourself guilty. Again, are you starting to see the connection with these people, you guys? The Skull and Bones Society. Okay, let's do this. Skull and Bones is an elite secret society at Yale University. This is white people, you guys. These are the biblical Edomites, founded in 1832. What were we doing in 1832? We were coming out of slavery. We were slaves to these fucking people while they were establishing left-handed occultic gang memberships to steal from the fucking planet Earth. After 350 years of slavery, this race of people has never, ever, ever repented. How can white people on the bottom go around the world talking about a white Jesus when they never addressed anything like this amongst their own race of people? You got to get your own house cleaned up before you can clean out somebody else's house. Didn't Yahushua say, get the beam out of your own eye before you try to get the beam out of someone else's? Let's see. Get the beam out of your own eye. Get the beam out of your own eye before you try to get the speck out of someone. Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. When did white people ever do this? When did white people ever tell the world that white people were wicked or bad? Exactly. They never fucking do it. They never rebuke their own race of people, you guys. You Christians gotta come to fucking terms with this shit. The Skull and Bones is an elite secret society at Yale, founded in 1832, known for its powerful alumni and secretive rituals. Members are chosen from the senior class and swear an oath of secrecy. There goes your secret society, bro, which has led to numerous conspiracy theories about the group's activities and influence. Despite the society, its influence is evident through its history of members holding prominent positions in government and business. Let's look at this. How many presidents were Bones members?
3 U.S. presidents, William Howard Taft, George H.W. Bush, and George W. Bush, were members of the Skull and Bones Society while at Yale University. They were the 27th, 41st, and 43rd presidents, respectively.
So these are U.S. presidents that are members of a secret society that uses the skull and crossbones, which is a pirate symbol of theft, a pirate symbol of robbery. And these are the fucking presidents of the United States. But no Christian has ever said anything. Let's go into the scriptures. The whore that rides the whore. Let me see. We'll get the serpent in the sea first. The serpent in the sea. Talking about Leviathan. The serpent in the sea. The sea talks about the people. The ocean or the sea. The serpent in the sea is talking about nations. It's biblical code for Leviathan, the monstrous sea creature mentioned in Isaiah 27:1. That's the one I'm looking for. That's let me see, Isaiah 27:1. Let's get it. Isaiah 27. This is a future prophecy. Isaiah 27:1. Look at this, you guys. This is a future prophecy. It goes into Isaiah 63, 1 through 4. It goes into, in that day, Yahweh, with his sore and great and strong sword, shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea. The sea refers to the people, the whore that sits on many waters. Now this is how you put the mysteries together. The whore that sits on many waters. There goes your sea again, on many waters. You guys have to see this. This is why we are the ones chosen, only the elect members, okay? Look, it's in Revelations, another future prophecy. Revelation 17:1. And there came out of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked to me, saying unto me, Come hither, and I will show you the judgment of the great whore that sitteth on many waters. So the whore and the serpent are the same. The waters are the sea. Okay? With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. Why would they commit fornication with this whore, with this serpent? Because this race of people is in rulership. They control all of the motherfucking resources, and they have a secret left-handed religion, Freemasonry, human trafficking, child sacrifice, sodomy, homosexual butt sex practices that that everyone has to come into in agreement with in order to do business with them. I don't care if I'm offending you. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Wine goes into doctrine. That goes into their belief system. This is why you see so many other world leaders wearing suits and ties and having their beard shaved. Because the so-called Edomite white man does it. You guys got to make the connections on this. Now, real quick, let's go. One more. Into the house of the thief. It shall enter into the house, into the house of the thief. This is specifically talking about the white man. Enter, into the house of the thief. Look, it's talking about a race of people, a family. I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. That goes into their Christianity, that goes into their court system when they put their hand on the Bible. Do you swear by God to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? That's what it's talking about. And when they do their fucking their presidential fucking, when they swear the president in, and he's putting his hand on the Bible and all this bullshit, and as a public display of righteousness, it's all fake. And unto the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and they tell the world that the name of God is Jehovah and Jesus, and it shall remain in the midst of the house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. What's he talking about? He's talking about the chariots, the UFOs. Look, we'll go to the beginning. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. That is a chariot. That is what the white man calls a UFO. And he said unto me, What seest thou? The UFOs are operated by the mighty ones, or the angels, and that is the army of heaven, Yahweh of hosts, Host means army. The Most High, he that exists of hosts. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. So it's 15 by 30 feet. It's like a thick rectangle. Then said he unto me, This is the curse. This is the punishment that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. This is why you see these chariots in the skies like crazy now. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off on this side. This is narrowing down who he's talking about. You may think everyone steals. You may think everyone swears. Not like the so-called white man. The so-called white man has a fucking public symbol of theft in the most highest ranking and most militarized, empowered government on the earth. It's talking about him. I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. Verse 4. And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house. What other race of people swears to have such a relationship with God other than the so-called white man? Don't they have it on their fucking paper money and on their quarters? In God we trust? Who the fuck are they talking about? Because they don't follow the Most High. But they got it all over their money. In God we trust. You want proof? You want more proof on that ass? In God we trust. Look at these faggots, man. Images. There it is. Do you see any other race of people? What do you see? You see fucking Edomites. Big nose, big pointy nose Edomites. Abraham Lincoln is a fucking Edomite. George Washington is a fucking Edomite. These are not good people, dude. There goes another pink ass. Look. Okay, so see how they say they're white? Look at the backdrop. Look at the words in God. Look at his t-shirt. That's white. Look at his fucking hands and his face. He is pink and red, bro. Esau means red and wasted away. Look, this is what this is talking about, bro. They claim to be God's people when they are the wicked and he hates them. There's no other race of people on the earth that uses the Bible as a form of camouflage to hide behind as they commit wickedness all over the earth. The Chinese don't do this. Africa doesn't do this. Mexico doesn't do this. This motherfucker does this. But you guys are going to get butthurt. Oh, you're talking about the white man. He's such a good man. And this is why everybody thinks the white man is such a righteous person. Look what you have. You have in God we trust in the center, and then to the left, you have a goddamn a fucking pyramid with an eye symbol. All together in one piece of paper. And you know the Most High says not to mix the profane with the holy. It's so everything about this race of people, you guys, is fucked up. But you guys just follow him. You love the white man. No, don't talk about the white man. You're in sin. If you hate the white man, you're going to hell. You see how it is? But the white man can hate everybody, and you just call it racism. See, the white man's not going to go to hell. It's just racism. But when you hate the white man, oh, you're going to hell. Man, fuck you. You guys are fucking tripping. You're out of your goddamn mind. In God we trust. Look at this shit. The official motto of the United States. Bam! It's not anybody else on the planet. It's bro. The official motto of the United States, appearing on all U.S. currency since 1957, and signifies a belief in divine support. But where? From where? The left-hand side, you guys. That's from where. The phrase first appeared on coinage in 1684 during the Civil War, and Congress officially declared it the national motto in 1956 under President Dwight Eisenhower. I think he's the same guy that fucking made that dropped the bomb on fucking Hiroshima. Let me see. Oh, it was Truman. My bad. It was Truman. Okay, Salakia. But you guys see it, okay? You fucking see it. You fucking see it. So look. God damn it. You see it, you see it, you see it. All right. So going back to this, the curse, that enters into the house of the thief, enters into the house of the thief. I'm going to read it one more time. Of the thief. Look, it call the spirit, the what do you call it? The freaking the I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts. The spirit of the living power of the Most High and prophecy is calling the so-called white man the thief. Not a thief, the thief. I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof, and the stones thereof. Then the angel talked with me and went forth and said unto, lift up now thine eyes. So look, you see it, right? So let's go back to...
We're not happy with Venezuela for a lot of reasons, drugs being one of them. Well,
see, he's lying. And even if Venezuela did have drugs, who the fuck is this white man? Who is this Edomite that the Most High says he hates? Who is he to go into another country and start killing their people? Because doesn't America have drugs? Hasn't America had a problem with drugs since the fucking 70s or 60s? Has anybody come over here and started killing us because of our drug problem? You see how fucking wicked these people are? They're the only race of people, you guys, that get up on television and just start slandering everybody and their so-called sins, and then they make the determination that we're going to go over there and start bombing you because we said you're doing something wrong. Yet this country is the number one producer of pornography. This country is the number one law producer for LGBTQ and sodomites. You see how hypocritical? Get the fucking beam out of your own eye before you try to take the speck out of your brother's eye. And Renaissance Western Christianity never, ever fucking says anything every Sunday. All they say is, give us your tithes, and one day white Jesus is coming to rapture us out of here. They never condemn their own race, and they never condemn their own government, you guys.
I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country.
See, that's the accusation. No one's bringing drugs into your country. You stole this country from the people who had it. You are controlling the drug trade all over the earth. Nothing happens on the... Remember, they are the whore that sits on the sea. Remember, according to the scriptures, they are the dragon in the sea. What's a dragon, you guys? It's a fire-breathing, fucking teeth, claw having creature. Well, what are teeth and claws in the animal kingdom? That makes you an apex predator to all the... If they're a dragon, that means all the other fish in the sea are food. And what are the claws and teeth? Those are your weapons. Those are your rockets. Those are your fighter ships and jets and your atomic missiles. That's what the scales and the claws and the teeth are. Who if you notice with the white man, the so-called white man, there's always a boogeyman. There's always a fucking boogeyman that the so-called white man has to protect the world from. Who's going to protect the world from the so-called white man? Yahweh Shai. You see how powerful these people have become? That the only person that can save the world from the so-called white man is the Son of God. And he's not a white person. He's a so-called black man.
Okay, we're going to kill them. You know, they're going to be like dead. Okay. We're not happy with Venezuela.
It's fucking weird. Now let's look. Now look. See, God bless President Trump. So this is, and it's got an Israel flag and the fake and the Phoenician version of Hebrew. Then someone saying he's a retard. They're gonna be like, Dad, bro had to clarify. All lies. He's after Venezuela's oil, and there it is, right there. That's it, with 1,000 likes. Look how unpopular the God bless Trump is. 742 likes. Those are all your little fucking diehard white people. Those are your Edomites. Those are all your fucking Edomites. And then you got people fucking responding to that shit. This is ridiculous, you guys. That's a true president. 2,000 likes. Look. And this is why America, and this is why the Edomites in America are going to be destroyed when God finally sends his judgment, when the Most High, Yahweh of hosts, sends his judgment, because the Christian church and the Edomites and those of our people who are brainwashed into their system and believe after them have been in agreement, cheering on every time this government has gone all over the earth to just randomly destroy people. Okay? I can't think of a serious reason why this can be bad. We will never have a president this savage again. Look, they're like, oh, it's so savage. Look, what do you see? Pete's a white boy. God, I love Trump. Look at this dumb shit. They're going to be like dead. How can anyone not fucking like this man? He's hilarious. Look, and see how the algorithms are not 6,000 likes. The last boat they blew up, what if it was a couple of young adults out just speeding on the water? What if it was some teenagers speeding? Because none of them have been. Those Epstein files got to be atrocious. See, there's people that know, and again, this goes into what? The Egyptian turning against the Egyptian. Everyone's split down the middle. Let's go here. Let's get some of these.
Russia just got involved. Да. Нам нужна твоя помощь. Что? Как дела? Russia just sent a heavy cargo plane to Venezuela. And not just any heavy cargo plane, they sent the Wagner Group. The Wagner Group is a mercenary group that is sent to do high unalivings. They go in like the fucking boogeyman. They're worse than the CIA and the KGB combined. And I need you to understand how bad this is, and this is how bad they're getting ready to fight us. The route that heavy cargo plane took was a route that it skipped all Western nations, okay? It went through Armenia, Algeria, Morocco, Mauritania, and then Senegal, and shot straight to Venezuela. No detection. There are 50 aircrafts and about 200 military personnel on that flight. A day after the United States of America hit 4 boats in the Pacific Ocean. Meaning we literally just told Russia we were hitting the whole fucking Caribbean. Like, if we were lying on the fucking media and saying we were just targeting Venezuela, he came over here and confirmed it and said, Los Sucata. Now, you might not see anything wrong with that, baby. But that's the day after we moved the USS Gerald 4 all the way from Europe, which is the biggest warship in the entire fucking world. That warship is a little fucking Atlantis. We have 4,000 Marines outside, 4,500 Navy sailors, and a couple of different U.S. destroyers, meaning that's carrying tens of thousands of people. And Russia has an activation military base in Nicaragua. I told you that they built a military base on June 10th of 2022 in Nicaragua under President Daniel Ortega. So if it was a little minuscule and he wanted to do surveillance, he could have taken the opportunity 110% of deploying them from Nicaragua, sending them through Panama, and getting them to Venezuela. But he did not. He sent the Wagner Group from Russia. Meaning them motherfuckers are going to do exactly what they did in Africa, which means go undetected from Russia to Africa, which means goes undetected from fucking Venezuela to America. And the Pentagon already warned you in March that we were going to have sleeper cells in this country and that you needed to stop mobilizing in big areas because they were worried about Americans being attacked. They just added a different level to this bullshit real quick, and I want you to understand this is not a good level. Because for the first time in years, Russia has practiced their nuclear missile tests. There's only one country Russia would ever need to use their nuclear missiles against. And baby, that's us. So you need to stay tuned, because if China makes a chess move, because Donald Trump is currently tagging on Malaysia, Thailand, Japan, Argentina, and other countries to steal rare earth minerals from, instead of China to take them out of the ballpark of the market, they might see this as an incentive to also currently come in because of Taiwan. And North Korea tested their missile tests outside of South Korea while Donald Trump was there today, showing that he don't give a fuck about Donald Trump at all. So we're going to have to pay attention to this, because if Donald Trump hits Venezuela on soil, baby, we about to have some action on soil. I swear to Bob. Russia.
I told you so, but you guys don't listen. I told you if this president got into it with Venezuela, this would be the perfect opportunity for China and Russia to get involved. And what happened? Okay, they just reported that Russia sent Wagner fighters to fucking Venezuela to back up the Venezuelans, to fight U.S. Army fucking troops in retaliation for America helping Ukraine. Like, you guys don't know what the fuck you're doing. You have no idea what foreign policy is. You have no strategy. You are fucking dumb as shit. And we have the dumbest motherfuckers running this country right now. And all the fucking smart people you guys got rid of. Fuck, we're fucked.
If I was Maduro, I'd head to Russia or China.
Look at this fucker right here. This was the one that sparked it. Something, the spirit. I saw this guy's face for the first time a couple days ago. And he was who I was looking for. I don't even know who he is. This is your fucking classic Edomite. Shaved face, suit and tie. Very calm speaking, but a fucking evil, wicked murderer. He gets up on television, he sits down, and he just begins to speak accusations. You got to understand when it says the accuser of the brethren is cast down, it's talking about this race of people. Christianity teaches the accuser of the brethren is the spiritual demon Satan, and they use the precept in one of the prophecies, I believe, where Joshua is being accused, and that is a good precept, but that's not what is being spoken about in Revelation. The accuser of the brethren in Revelation is speaking about a race of people who categorizes. The Greek word is categoris. That's where we get our word category. And this group of people right here you see on the screen is put everybody else in a category and put themselves above on top of everyone else. So it's talking about them. But listen to what this piece of shit says about this world leader in Venezuela, because they want his oil, but they can't just go over there and take his oil. So they got to paint the guy over there in a bad light. And because they make him look bad, then they go over there because this is the reason why we're here. No, this is what they did to us in slavery. They had us as slaves for 350 fucking years. And the entire time we were slaves, they said there's something wrong with us to justify all the heinous shit they did to us. You got to understand, this is how this race gets down, you guys. How can this race teach the world about the love of God when this is what they do in front of everybody? And the version of and their religion, Renaissance Western Christianity, that version of a white Jesus and a white God and white angels that they tell everybody to come under, none of the men in that religion ever condemns this group of white men on the planet Earth. Why? Because Renaissance Western Christianity was set up to cover and hide who Esau Edom is. This is why nobody in Christianity knows who Esau is. And Esau's mentioned all throughout prophecy in the Bible, and the testimony of Yahushua in the book of Revelations is the spirit of prophecy. So the gospel of Yahushua is connected to understanding future biblical prophecy, and Esau is mentioned as the recipient of the wrath of the Most High in all of future biblical prophecy, and nobody in Christianity knows anything about Esau Edom. It's a false doctrine, you guys.
Right now.
Because.
If I was Maduro, I'd head to Russia or China right now.
Because.
His days are numbered.
See, look at this. I listen to this fucking blue-eyed, pink-fleshed man. If I was a Duro, I would head to Russia or China. And he's talking about Russia or China like Russia and China isn't something to be afraid of. Dude, Russia has billions of people. All of their men are trained and muscular and ready to go to fight. That's not the case for America. Everybody over here is fat, out of shape, addicted to fucking goddamn fucking GMOs, sugars, and fucking red, yellow dyes and shit, and drugs. We don't have a fucking physical army in this country. You see how these fuckers are talking? And Russia's got supersonic, hypersonic ICBM missiles. Shit that fucking almost travels at the fucking speed of light. And this dude is just proud, fucking puffing. Oh, if I was him, I would run. Shut the fuck up.
Something's going to happen. Whether it's internal or external, I think something's going to happen.
The firepower that's off the coast, right? This is an armada. This is a lot of U.S. forces. Are we about to invade Venezuela?
I don't think so. I mean, if we do, I'd be surprised.
Earlier this month, President Trump announced he approved covert CIA operations inside Venezuela. What do you think removing Maduro would signal to other socialist regimes in the area?
It'll be the end of Cuba.
Cuba relies on subsidized Venezuelan oil to...
See, everything about this race of people is about destroying everybody else to fix and position the top 1% of themselves over the entire earth, no matter what the fucking outcome is. And then this same race of people has spread all over the earth that a white Jesus is coming back to save the world. All he's gonna do, he's just gonna rapture everybody out, but he's not gonna confront these people. What the fuck? How convenient of a doctrine, huh? How convenient that the so-called white man is the most violent, most manipulative, most deceiving group of people on the earth with the biggest weapons, and you're telling me the Son of God's not going to come back and challenge them? And this is Renaissance Western Christianity, you guys. No, bro. Future biblical prophecy says the Son of God in a UFO, in a chariot with other mighty flaming powers, men of war are going to be sent by Yahweh to come challenge this motherfucker for the earth. And it's not even going to be a challenge. The Bible says in 1 hour he wipes them out. But they're gonna fight the Son of God because they don't want to give up the throne. This is what you guys have to understand. And Renaissance Western Christianity doesn't point out the white military like this. They never say anything, because to point out the white military means America's also wrong, means everything that the so-called white man has said is wrong. And then nobody would follow the so-called white man. So that's why Renaissance Western Christianity doesn't point out who the man of sin is.
Prop up its economy.
America is going to take care of the Southern Hemisphere. And we're going to make sure that there's freedom and democracy.
And America, quit saying America. This is the so-called white man. The Edomites are doing this. It's not America. It's not the Republicans. It's not the Democrats. It's a specific race of people. You guys got to pull back the layers, man. It's not America. It's these motherfuckers.
If I was Maduro?
No. Donald Trump shot 4 boats today. 4 boats in 1 day. 4 boats in 1 day, taking 14 lives. It would have been 16. But Mexico saved 2 survivors. Who? ¿Quién? Mexico. Mexico Militar. That means if Mexico is involved and saw that shit, they probably gonna say something about it. And for anybody and everybody that said he's only currently hitting Venezuela, bitch, all 4 of those boats was in the Pacific. Pacific! Which side is that on? It sounds like Donald Trump is trying to make a war with the entire Caribbean. You didn't need us to paint that out. Arazo? And for anybody and everybody that doesn't know why he's in Asia so that Malaysia, Japan, Thailand, as well as Cambodia can give him access to rare earth minerals, the same rare earth minerals he just signed with Argentina so that China can go down. Nimanjadola! And now, Belarus got permission from Russia to send balloons over to Lithuania. Lithuania said they're going to shoot it down. Lithuania being a NATO country. It was less than 2 days ago that Trump called Russia and said, I just want you to know we got a nuclear submarine outside your coast. Bitch, why would you say that? I don't want to hear shit about y'all saying the Democrats is the reason why this government shut down. Today, the 13th time, the Republicans in the Senate blocked the GOP bill. The stop spending, the stopgap bill, they blocked it again. They did the same exact votes they did the last time they did this. And guess what? You want to sit here and say that Democrats aren't switching sides? Fetterman switched sides from Pennsylvania. You know who stayed on the same side? Can you tell me why Rand Paul voted no? You the one that told them that they need to come back. Everybody come back, now you currently switching sides. Wagwan, Jamaica. Jamaica's about to be hit by a Cat 5. So pay attention to that because that's going after the Caribbean. If it doesn't stay just in Jamaica, it will hit other islands. So like I said, go ahead and get your bug out bag ready because we are about to be attacked. We have killed 56 people in less than 2 months. Just hitting them. Like it's a fucking bowling alley.
Just like they're doing in Gaza, just like they're doing with the ICE raids here in America. It's the same race of people doing all of this shit. But the media and Renaissance Western Christianity doesn't want to speak it as such. You guys have to come to the conclusion that the so-called white man is the biblical nation of Edom, that he is the descendant of Esau, and that the Most High says that they are the border of wickedness. That's Malachi chapters 1, verses 3 through 4, and that they are the wicked. And right now, the earth has been given into their hands, and we have to cry out to Yahweh to send Yahweh Shai to save us from him. That is what salvation truly means. Salvation is not giving your life to white Jesus so that you don't burn in hell off planet somewhere forever. That is not in the Bible. But salvation is the Hebrew Israelites being delivered by their God from the oppression and the slavery and the brutalization from another race of people. And in this situation, it is the so-called white man.
And if you think Maduro's not ready, Maduro called Brazil Bom Dia. They've got 15,000 in the Amazon waiting for us. That's why Donald Trump sent Argentina $40 billion. So that we can go into the Amazon if Lula decides to attack us. Colombia already has their troops set and ready. Mexico has had their troops set and ready since Donald Trump threatened her in March.
In Venezuela, the people in Venezuela that got the 40 billion, who do you think that went to? That went to whoever the Americans, whoever the white boys, whoever the Edomites have set up in Venezuela. That's where that money went. It didn't go to the people. It went to the puppet government that's already set up there to do the bidding of the so-called white man. That's who that money went to.
Saying if she doesn't figure it out, we'll figure it out for her. Mira, no quiero uno problema con los otros países debajo de los Estados Unidos y también el cartel. No tengo uno problema. Yo permites. No me jodas. Yo permiten. Estamos en problemas.
See, now they say that we're stupid. This woman sounds like she speaks like 3 or 4 different. I think in the other video she was speaking Russian. Then she can fucking talk like a Jamaican. She can obviously speak English, and now she's speaking Spanish. That's a sign of intelligence. That's not fucking, we're not animals. And this is the case with a lot of Latinos and Northern Kingdom and Jakes. They speak multiple fucking languages, but the white man will have you convinced that we're stupid.
Ahora, fix your credit, get your house, buy a half an acre, make sure you away from the main cities, baby. Because all the main cities that anybody would want to hit next to the water, 100 miles from the border. On the border! 2/3 of this fucking population of 340 million are on the border. Good luck, puta madre. Ya yo sé a pelear.
You said time for Maduro to go.
Look at this faggot. This dude's a sodomite. And I'm going to end it with this. This dude is a queer. He's an effeminate fucking Edomite man. But listen to when he's mad at somebody about Israel or this fucker. He shakes and quivers in his voice. This dude's a fucking freak, man.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot like regime
Yeah,
change.
it is.
Are you talking about troops on the ground?
I'll let the president speak to that. I'm talking about a briefing that would expand military operations potentially from the sea to the land. It is time for Maduro to go. It was time for Ortega to go.
See, they make decisions. They think they can make decisions on other men in other countries based on what they want on the earth. This proves, you guys, that when the Bible says in Job chapter 9, let's get it. You got to see this shit. Job 9:24, that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. The earth. And I'm going to leave it with these precepts because you have to see it. You have to see it because you guys want to deny it. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, and he covers the faces of the judges. That means he would change the race of the true Hebrew Israelites. So that also points to the so-called white man because everybody thinks God, Jesus, and the angels are white, and his name is Yahweh, not Jesus. So that's a double witness against them. He covered the faces of the judges, and then right now, you have to answer this question. If it's not the so-called white man, where and who is he? Then where did it happen? Who did change? Who was it that changed the faces of the judges? Because you got to answer that question because they were changed. And then Malachi 1, the border of wickedness. You got to see it. The border of wickedness. So the border defines a nation from another nation. Go back one precept. Malachi 1-3. And I hated Esau, and I laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Verse 4. Whereas Edom, that's Esau, saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. This is what they did during the Dark Ages when they fell down the first time, and they came back in the Renaissance period. That's what Renaissance means. Renaissance means resurrection. Resurrection of what? The Roman Empire. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. The they in this context is talking about us, the hopeful elect. because we've been given eyes to see and ears to hear. We have the spirit of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and we point to the white man and say, hey, you fit all these prophecies. And then Renaissance Western Christians say, you guys are racist and you're speaking a hateful doctrine. Are you fucking kidding me? With all the evidence on the so-called white man, and you can't point him out, but you're going to sit there and say we're bad because we're pointing him out. That's gaslighting, dude. But I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. So the Most High is mad.
I got a message
It's probably another
from a controller that said I'm running out of money, and if she
You said time for Maduro to go.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot like regime
Yeah, it
change.
is.
Are you talking about troops on the ground?
I'll let the president speak to that. I'm talking about a briefing that would expand military operations potentially from the sea to the land.
Remember, they are the dragon in the sea, and they are the whore that sits on many waters. They are also called the wicked, who the earth has been given in the hands of. And the way he is speaking shows you how much power they have.
It is time for Maduro to go. It was time for Ortega to go.
How does he have the ability to say something like this about another country, about another man on fucking national television? You gotta answer me. Do you see any other race of people in any other nation talking about they gotta go and then sending troops? No, you don't. This shows you the position of the so-called white man in the earth. They are the biblical Edomites. They are the wicked, because they line up with what prophecy says. This is why they changed their name to white in 1681, to hide their true biblical national identity. They are operating under an alias right in front of your fucking eyes. This is why you can't believe anything they say, including Renaissance Western Christianity. Once you understand all of this, you guys can no longer accuse us of being hateful or racist. You can't. You can't. We're proving to you with evidence why we say and what we say. And if you are looking at all this evidence and you're still saying, nah, fuck that, there's something wrong with you, dude, you are set for destruction. The Most High is blocking your mind from understanding, and you will be melted when the ICBM missiles hit America.
The Monroe Doctrine has been robustly applied by President Trump. So these military assets are moving forward to deal with a country that's got blood on its hands when it comes.
Listen to this piece of shit. A country that has blood on its hands because of their accusation. They're bringing drugs into our country. What is America doing all over the world? What is the so-called white man doing all over the fucking world? But this piece of shit is talking about somebody else having blood on their hands. This is how insane they are, you guys.
To Americans by flooding our country with drugs from Venezuela.
And they flood everybody else's country with their wine, with their doctrine, with their belief system, with their wicked Christianity that they don't even follow themselves. They force a white image of God into everybody's mind all over the earth through Hollywood movies and Christianity. And then behind the scenes, they do human sacrifice and child fucking pedophilia. They steal everybody's fucking resources, but this country has blood on their hands. Get the fuck.
Venezuela and Colombia. So I hope Maduro would leave peacefully, but I don't think he's going to stay around much longer. I think President Trump is tired of Venezuela being used as a staging platform to poison America.
You said...
See, and they care so much about America, but America's is in a shutdown right now. They're turning off SNAP benefits in a couple of days, but they're so concerned about America. It's bullshit, you guys. I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone of whom I learned from, and the Shalom to the hopefully elect 144,000 chosen, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai, our King. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.